Hey everyone, this is Fiona, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about the Simian line. So what is a Simian line? A Simian line is when you have a straight line across like that. So I actually have two simians. So you can think of it as the head and the heart line are fused into one line. And basically this is a gift marker. This is actually something that occurs in about 3% of the population, and it basically says that you are wired to have bring this intense, fierce ferocity, focus into whatever it is that you are passionate about. So for me, that's music. I've always had this kind of deep passion for, writing music, performing music, teaching music. And, I remember even as a kid, I would practice for hours and hours and hours. Like, no one had to force me to practice. I was kind of excited to do it on my own. So in the medical literature, when you have a Simian line, it actually can point to different types of autistic traits and autism and stuff like that. But when the person is not autistic, then it can be this gift mark. It's a gift marker basically. And so you have this intense focus, this is my mission, nothing's getting in the way type of ability. And for those people who have found, what they want to channel this energy into, then those people are doing really well. There's a lot of people in the music field I know that have Simian lines. I know Tom York of Radiohead has a Simian line. And, as you can see, he's poured his passion and all that energy into his music. Britney Spears also has a Simian line. There's also Tony Robbins has one Simian line. So when you have more than one Simian line or more than one of anything, it just means more of that energy, that type of fierce, I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to stay up till 4 a.m. working on whatever project or task I have at hand. And I can kind of see that, I can kind of track that part of me that's been very ferocious about my music, to the point where I have focused more on music than anything else. I mean, I remember my parents would say I was being selfish. I only think of my music and nothing else. And there's truth to that. I'm not going to deny it. I had this just excitement and this, just this energy. I could just play the piano for hours and hours and hours. I could work on something and just really, it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't get bored or anything like that. And I remember being surprised that people couldn't keep up with me. So I have this intense focus and drive that I want to pour into my music. And I remember having, just being kind of surprised that people couldn't keep up with me, especially when I went to music school and stuff like that. And now that I'm going to UCLA, it's kind of a little bit different. I feel like everyone's kind of like a super workaholic. But the thing is, you want to pour this energy into what you're passionate about. So if you think about it, the headline is all about the way that you think, right? Your heart line is kind of like the style that you love in. And basically, the challenge with Simian line people is that they can kind of there can be miscommunications, they can be misunderstood, and they have this vulnerability challenge, because it's like they think what they feel and they feel what they think. So sometimes a thought gets mixed up with an emotion, and we can just be all in our heads and very invulnerable, I guess that's the word. And I've been in many relationships where I've been told that I'm very, just in my head, and I'm not feeling what my heart is feeling. And I can see that. I can definitely see that. So the challenge is to really feel what you're feeling instead of think what you're feeling, or feel what you're thinking or feeling what you think. I know it's kind of confusing. So the thing that happens with the miscommunications thing is that sometimes the simian person can be so, it's almost like there's two things. They can have their own type of language that they use in a way that kind of gets across what they're trying to explain, but maybe not in a really clear manner. And I've been totally guilty of that. And then they also have this thing where they kind of like 10 steps ahead of the person. And so what the simian person has to do when they're communicating is they have to kind of slow down their communication, because not everyone can kind of think 10 steps ahead. So slowing down the communication and, giving bite-sized chunks of information. And I think teaching, when I teach music, this has been where this has been a big challenge, because sometimes I'll want my students to like understand stuff and I'll jump too many steps ahead, and I need to really break it down and slow things down. But this is also seen in my former relationships too, where, I had this kind of special, I guess I don't know if I would call it special, but it was a type of communication where it wasn't really crystal clear. And so I thought I was being clear, but it was really, I have to kind of, it's almost like the person has to decode what the Simian Line person is saying at times, just because, remember, it's they think what they feel what they think. It's the head and the heart line fused together. That energy, that's why you have that so much energy and passion and intensity that you can pour into something, is because those two lines are combined. So the plus side of the Simian Line is that, yes, you have this intense passion. Nothing is getting in my way. I'm going to, build a restaurant and build have a farm where I can grow the food and, cook it at the restaurant for my customers. You think of Britney Spears and what she's kind of accomplished, or you think about, it's interesting, actually, I think Hillary Clinton has simian lines. And it doesn't mean that, there's going to be other parts of the hand that you're going to incorporate in the reading. It's not just, oh, this person's a simian line person, they have this intense focus. There's other elements that are involved, of course, but I'm just kind of singling out one gift marker. So, also, Robert De Niro has two simian lines. So it's actually, it's a common marker. And so if you don't have this, if you don't have something that you can pour this energy into, I feel sorry for you because that's like, Beethoven, and he's like, picking up trash or something, or working as a garbage person. I'm not saying that's unimportant, but I'm saying that he's supposed to be pouring, unless that's his passion, is to be a garbage man. You want this energy and this passion to be channeled towards what you're passionate about. So actually, no, if Beethoven was passionate about, being a garbage man, or, laying bricks or something like that, then yes, that would be amazing. That's what you should follow your heart. But the person that has not found this project, they are adrift at sea. So they're basically kind of, it's kind of a sad situation. But for those that have found their passion, you think of the people that are super fanatical about what they do. They've poured their energy, their heart, their whole life force energy into creating what they're passionate about. And the evolved Simian Line people are able to have time for friends, family, and fun while they're working on the big important project. They're not just, work. They make time for the fun things in life too. So if you have a Simian Line, there's different variations of the Simian Line. Some people have lines above or below the Simian Line. If you just have like a Simian Line with nothing above and nothing below, then it's more of a pure Simian Line. So you have more of that energy. I'm definitely not a pure Simian. I've seen a few pure Simian Line people, and they are some of the most like focused and driven and determined people I have ever met. So I'm curious, do you have a Simian Line? And if so, what's it like having one? I'm curious. All right, we'll see you in the next video.